Okay, so I'm hoping you can actually see this. This is usually where it's all set up, so I'm hoping that you can read it. Yesterday in my delivery, I received the Paper Pumpkin Kit Expressions in ink, in colour. Now this is a Paper Pumpkins collection or pack that comes from from the United States. We don't usually get Paper Pumpkin here, but a couple of times a year, Stamping Up allows us to purchase one of these. So this is what it is. It's a box of product to make cards, and this is called the Expressions in Colour, and it corresponds with the Expressions in Ink that we have in our annual catalogue, which is the artistically inked stamp set and the papers and everything that go with it. So this kit will work really well with the artistically inked. Now the kit, if I remember correctly, is around about $33. I don't actually have it on here, I'm sorry. To purchase, it is only available while stocks last. So I would get in and get this fairly quickly if you're interested in it. So I haven't actually opened this up as yet. All I've done is I've taken the plastic covering off. And so we're going to open this together, and we're going to have a bit of a play with it together. So as I said, I haven't even had a look as yet what comes in this. So let's go. So we open up our box, and we've got a little brochure here about the Expressions in Ink. As I said, it works really well with this particular kit. With your beautiful papers and everything will work well with it. They've given us in this kit two little stamp pads, just little square ones, and we've got Evening Evergreen and Bumblebee. So they're the two inks that they've given us. I won't use those. I will pull mine out of my shelf. We've also got this stamp set. So got some really great sentiments. What have we got on there? Sending hugs, the word many, so you can, sending many hugs if you want to, I suppose. We've got congratulations, you are amazing, thanks for everything, and lovely little floral arrangement. Some other little floral bits and pieces will go in with it, and we've got a stamp that's I keep on wanting to call it like a splodge. It'll be like what we've got in the artistically inked. We have this piece here which actually gives you that feel of using your inks and blowing that around. So it's the same sort of thing as that. It's just a little bit of a decorative piece. So we will be using some of these in our kit today, in our cards, but otherwise I have to have a play with them and see what sort of cards I can come up with and then show them to you. So okay, so let's have a look what else we have in here. It's always beautifully wrapped in tissue paper, and then we have our products. So let me grab those out, and I'll move the box out of the road. Easily said than done. Okay, let me just fold this tissue paper back up. These boxes are really great to keep because they're really good if you want to gift somebody a whole lot of cards, or you want to use it. I mean, they're beautifully decorated boxes, and even these kits are really great for if you want to purchase them as Christmas gifts or birthday gifts to somebody, because everything is in there except for the acrylic block for making these cards. So let me pop that to one side, and let's bring this in, and let's have a look what we've got in here. So this is how the kits come after you've taken it out of the packaging. Let's take all the plastic off it. So I hope you're all having a lovely day. Can't lose those. Let's get rid of that. So the first thing that we have here is a brochure, excuse me, just telling us or showing us how to put all our cards together. Stamping Up actually don't put much in words because, I mean, this goes out to quite a few different countries. where English is not necessarily the first language. So it's all done in picture form. So everything is numbered, and on the kit somewhere it does tell you what all the numbers represent. Let me have a look, see if I can find that so I can show that to you. No, it doesn't. It used to do. It's also got a ruler down the side here, both in centimeters and in inches, so you can measure out all your twine. But it does show you quite clearly that where they want you to put your adhesive dots, dimensionals, where you can stamp. So they are fairly clear instructions. They're not always that complicated, which is really good. Piece of cardboard there. So what else do we have here? So we have some envelopes. So this time they're just plain envelopes. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 envelopes there. They're nice size envelopes. Oh, we've got some mini envelopes. So we've got both your larger and your note card size envelopes there. So we must have 2 different size cards. We've got some beautiful green decorated, so that'd be your evening evergreen shades. We've got 3 of those, so there's 3 cards for that one. Got some little tags there, some beautiful vellum pieces, and this little design here is actually one of it's the same sort of design as one of the dies that go with your expressions in ink, so that works in quite well. And you could, you know, bring in your dies from the other suite and use it with this as well. So then we have some cards here. So we've got 3 in that colorway. Looks like we've got some die cuts that go with it. Okay, so you've got 3 sets there. There's 3 different designs in the cards, and 3 of each card. So we've got some evening evergreen card bases, some more die cut tags that we can stamp on, and some bumblebee card bases as well. And then we have some vellum here that's been all pre-printed. Don't know whether you can actually see that. Let me pop that underneath, see that a little bit clearer. And we're going to use those, and the wording here is thanks, and then we have it in 2 other different languages as well. So, and always with these kits we do have all our adhesives. So they've given us some glue dots, some twine in evening evergreen. Let me just take this out. So there's our twine. We've got some lovely sequins that's already got glue dots on the back of it, and some dimensionals. Okay, so let's get started. So as I said, I haven't even had a look at this as yet. I'll just bring my trolley closer to me, so I will need a block for some stamping, and let's grab one of each of these. So let's first off pop all these things to one side. Now, of course, you don't need to make up the kits exactly the way they've suggested. I'm today going to make one in each design exactly the way that they have suggested, but you can play around with it if you want and put your own swing on things, which is always good. So let's start off with this card here. So we're going to need a base in that. We're going to need one of these vellum pieces with the floral on it. And we're going to need the tags, this one here. So it looks like we actually need this tag here, which we're going to stamp on it. You're amazing. And it's telling me we need the bumblebee ink. So that's going to be for one. and we're also going to need some twine. So it's saying here that we need 26 inches or 66 centimeters, so I'll work that one out in a moment. So that's what we're going to need for our card 1. And let's pull out what we're going to need for card 2. So card 2, we're going to need the Evening Evergreen base. We're going to need one of these beautiful green pieces of Designer Series paper. And we've got a bit of stamping, and we need one of those smaller tags. Once we've sorted all of this out, then I can sort of put everything else to one side and we'll have a bit more room. Okay, for our third card base, we need our bumblebee. Need a piece of this vellum. We need one of these tags here. And we also need a sheet of those beautiful die cuts. Okay, so that's everything we need. Pop all that over there to one side. So that's card 3, card 2, and card 1. So okay, so let's just get, we need 66 centimeters of our twine. Now I would tend to cut this fairly accurately. I do have a ruler here, and 66 is there. So that's that. So what they're telling me here, we need to, let's do our stamping first. So we need to stamp on our sentiment, "You're amazing." So let's grab "You're amazing," which is this nice little one here. I love these ones with the font and then with the nice script font, and then with just plain writing underneath. And let's mount that on our block. I love it when these stamps are brand new. They stick all over your fingers. Okay, so we need to use our bumblebee. So let me just grab my bigger bumblebee. And we'll ink this up. Just going to stamp off to make sure I've got that all the right way. Yep. And put that up there. Line this up. Line all that up in there. And stamp. Okay, so there's our sentiment all nicely stamped. So we need to wrap our twine, by the looks of it, twice around our card base. So let's just bring that in. So fold our card in half. Grab my bone folder. Just give that a really good press. So we're just going to wrap this around twice by the looks of it. And we're going to tie a bow this end up here. So wrap that around once. Whoop. Okay, so we're going to just maybe need to give that a little bit more length there. And now this is only giving me quite a short little piece there to tie my bow. So here's a little trick for you. So I'm just going to take one of these glue dots, just picking it up underneath, and I'm going to stick that underneath there. So I'm just popping that underneath where that knot is. I'm taking the back off it, and I'm going to push where I've done that half knot into that glue dot, and that's just going to hold it in place for me, because I don't have much here to tie a bow with, but that's okay. I'm sure we will manage it. Let's just try that again. It's not still there, held in place nicely, which is good. And we've got a bow. Just might lengthen these tails a little bit. Yay, that worked. Okay, there's my bow, and that's staying there. So there's the front of my card. So now we need our... Okay, so our thanks is actually for a different card. So we just need this floral piece for the moment. And that's going to get attached onto here. Something like that. So we're going to need to add some glue dots to this. But you only really want to put your glue dots where your sentiment is going to go. And what I like to do with this, because it's very hard to work out exactly where on the back of that your glue dots are going to sit. So let's work out first off, our sentiment is actually going to sit around about there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop dimensionals underneath this. So let's grab these dimensionals, and I'm going to pop my dimensionals underneath here first, and that will then give me an area where my glue dots can sit. So that's going to sit off that, so only taking the backing off one dimensional for the moment. That's going to sit on there probably like that. Let's just double check. So if our floral piece is going to sit there, I'm just going to lift that up a little bit, move that. There's probably really need to move our bow along a little bit, but I don't think I'm going to be able to. So let's just keep playing. And I'm going to have that there, and I'm going to have that going just there like that. So I can pop my glue dots. I'm going to pop one onto where that dimensional was. Should have used this in the first place. Let's take our take a pick tool, grab that glue dot, pop that just right there. Okay, other good places to put some glue dots is maybe And where we've got some of these white areas, you want them hidden. I know that they've only really telling me the glue dots. They've just got a picture here and they've just got 3 glue dots where the tag actually hides it, and it's on the back of this flower here. But I'm just going to stick a couple in other places where I think that you possibly won't notice them. So I'm just putting a couple extra. I'm not putting a lot. I'm just putting a couple, and I'm just taking the backs off them. It's a lot easier to do this with your take a pick tool. And I'm just using the pointed end. Taking all those backs off. And now let's see if we can position where we want this to go. That's going to sit. Whoops, we need to take the back off that dimensional as well. And that will also help hold that down. And then the only thing we have left to add onto that is a few sequins. So let's add a couple of sequins to this. As I said before, if you don't like the layout they've used, there is no reason why you can't play around with a bit. I was having a look at a Pinterest earlier just to see what a few other people did, and sometimes they've actually cut these up. I just want one, two, three. I just want one more down, maybe just here. Whoops. Oh, maybe just there where it's fallen. Okay. So there's our first card, all nice and quick. So yeah, there's a lot of ideas on Pinterest on what else you could do with this set. Always worthwhile to have a look. Okay, let's have a look at card number 2. So let's see what card number 2 says to do. So this is where we need our thanks. So that's it there. These vellum pieces are good to keep if you can use them on other cards. Use the words in other thanks in other languages. You could also do a bit of die cutting on a bit of this vellum, so don't just throw that away straight away. You could cut that up and get a bit more use out of that. So there's our thanks that we need. So first off, what we're going to do is they're telling us here we need to stamp some of that beautiful floral imagery. So let me grab another block. And let's take this floral piece here. I'll just use this block I've got. So I've got that. And we also need another small block for the other small flower. That block there will do. And we need this little flower here as well. We'll just pop that onto that block. And we're going to use our evening evergreen. So let me grab that one. And we're going to stamp some of those images onto a little piece of designer series paper. So they've recommended stamping this 3 times. So let's have a look. Go 1. Turn it around a little bit so it's not going the same way each time. 2. 3. And then it suggests we use this little flower and just fill in some of the areas around. Just going to pop another one of these just up there. Okay, do we need any more? Oh, I think actually I might just pop another couple of these. I think I didn't quite put that first one right in the center, so I'm just going to do a couple of these off. Okay, yep, I'm happy with that now. So I've just added a little bit more stamping than what they originally had on there, but that's okay. Just make these things into your own. So we've got our sentiment here, and let me grab another little block for our sentiment, and the sentiment we're using on this one is for everything. So it's just this little one just here. And we're going to stamp that in our bumblebee. Okay, and just stamping off just to make sure I've got that going right. And there's my tag. It's just a very tiny little tag. I'm just going to use my grid paper to line that up. And just stamp down. Remember, with these ones you can flip it over. Excuse me. So I'm just having a little bit of trouble here seeing my tag. So if I get it wrong, I can just flip the tag over and try again on the other side. Let's have another go, and then we'll decide which one looks better. Okay, so let me just, I might just bring it a little bit closer to me. And let's see if we can line this up a bit better this time. Okay, that one or that one? Yeah. Even though that one's a little bit crooked, I think that's a better one. Okay. That's why I like to stamp things first and then cut my tag. Okay, so we've got that tag. We've got our thanks. So we're going to pop this piece onto our card base. So let's just grab our card. Fold that in half again. So this is one of the note card sizes. Grab the bone folder. Just score that down there. Now if you do want to watch this video again, I'm going to hopefully try to get it to load onto my YouTube site over the weekend. It probably won't be until Sunday. So I need to put some glue dots on the back of this. And where did those little glue dots go? They're hiding. So we're just going to pop some of these on here. In actual fact, I'm just going to use my seal because it just makes it that much easier and that much quicker. But they do give you the glue dots in there, so you can use your glue dots. So, you know, it's a complete kit. Everything is in there. The only thing that's not in there is your block, which is something you will need to purchase if you are purchasing this for a gift. For somebody to use, unless you know that they've already got their own blocks. So I'm going to pop that onto there. Our thanks, I'm going to add some glue dots onto the back of that. So they're just suggesting that I add some glue dots here. So let me grab my, take a pick tool. And I'm going to pop that onto there so we can actually see what I'm doing. And they're suggesting that I pop one. And I'm going to put it onto that white part of that S. And they're also suggesting I put it onto the white part of that N. And about there. Okay, let's peel those backings off. And their suggestion is we pop the thanks just about there. And then for everything, I'm actually going to use on this, not the dimensionals, but the mini dimensionals. So let me just grab a pack of those. I've got some minis here. Again, this is something we carry in our annual catalogue, and they're really good for these backs of these small thin tags. They're just the right width. So it's always worthwhile buying them. And remember, you can also get the black ones. The black ones come in a variety pack. So you have, in the black pack, you have both the regular size and the mini ones. Okay. And we're just going to slip the thanks for everyone, everything, and that thanks is just going at the bottom there. And then again, we're going to add some more sequins onto here. So and with your sequence, it's always good to add odd numbers. They've actually added quite a few sequences onto here. They've used about 5 of them. So it's up to you on how many you want to use. Just going to pop that one up there, and then I can choose where. So I've got 4 on so far, and then want to bring my 5th one down here somewhere, because what happens is with this, you form a triangle if you possibly can, and it actually makes your eye follow that line. So whatever is inside that triangle is what your eye is holding. So here I've got sequence here, here, and here. So I'm forming a triangle basically around thanks for everything. So it does just generally will draw your eye into that. Doesn't seem to be much, but apparently that's the way it goes. That is the theory on it all. So there's that card done. So let's pop that one out of the road. And we're on to our last card. Okay, best kept for last, let's hope. So for this one here, we've got our, just going to close that up because I almost put something straight into that. Well, we'll need it again in a moment. Let me pop that there. So we need our bumblebee card base, and we'll fold that. And grab our bone folder. There it is. Tear that down. Make sure we've got our card opening the right way, because then we're going to adhere this onto here. Now we just need to put some dots. They're saying just in the middle, because all these lovely little die cuts are going to go on, and it's all going to be centered around the middle. So here they're just telling me to put some of my glue dots just in the center there. So I'm going to flip that over. So I'm using the wrong side, and you can actually sometimes tell which is the right side and which is the wrong side, but I'm just going to guess that that's my wrong. You can tell by the image is sometimes not as clear. So let's use some of these glue dots, and we're going to pop, oops, about 4 of them in that center area there, just to hold this sheet down. Take those covers off. Let's remove those out of the road. And we're going to adhere that down into the center of this card. So just leaving the same border all the way around the outside edge. Just like that. Okay. So we need our die cuts, and we've got our sentiment. Let's just stamp our sentiment, and then he's done and out of the road. And they're telling us the sentiment for this one is congratulations. So we'll need another block. Now, it doesn't mean that you have to use congratulations on this. You do have other sentiments here. So it's just a matter of working out what sentiment is going to fit within the area of the stamp. And if you lay that over the top, thanks could actually fit in there quite well. Sending hugs could fit in there. So you could use, a couple of different sentiments. You don't have to use congratulations. But for this one we are. So there's that. And you could also add some of your, because the expressions in ink had an ephemera pack with it as well, you could use some of the gold pieces from the ephemera pack to go on this as well, and some of the die cuts from the expressions in ink suite. And we're going to stamp that there in the middle. Great, that looks good. I'm happy with that. Okay, let's close that up, and then that's done. So let's bring this back in, and we need to pop these out. So we're just going to very gently take these out of the sheet. So you just want to work very gently with these, because they are a little bit finer. But all our colouring there is all done for us. There's one out. Let's grab the next one. Now, of course, you could always, as I said before, you could buy one of these and give it to somebody as a present for birthdays or Christmases, or you could even make them all up and then give it to somebody as a gift. Pop them all back into the box, and you could reuse that tissue paper and wrap them up in that. and give someone a box of completed cards. Always makes a nice gift. I try to give that to my mum for her birthday or Christmas each year. Though she's just hoarding my cards at the moment. She tells me they're too beautiful to use. I'm sure we all find that. We've got certain things we just keep to one side to use for special occasions. Okay, so we've got those three. And we're going to have to layer them. So what they're suggesting we do is we put a glue dot into the middle of each one. So let's flip all these over. And we're going to pop glue dot to the middle of each one, all three of them. Okay, so do they tell us which one to line up first? I'm assuming the green one is going to go last. So we're going to have, this piece is 1, 2, and 3. So probably really doesn't matter which one goes on first, as long as they all line up. So I'm going to pop that one, turn that over, and I'm going to make that one my base, my bottom. No, I'm going to make that one my top. Let's just take the glue dot off this one first. Don't think it really matters that much. You just want it to be, there's a little piece there I didn't pull out, so let's just pop that out. So I think you just got to work out what direction, how you want these all to look. That's going to sit like that. So let's take the glue dot off the back of that one. That onto there. Now I'm sure if you wanted to, you could probably dot a few more glue dots around on some of these other branches. Let's take the glue dot off the back of that, and then arrange probably if I was going to do it next, I'll probably actually line it up all on my card and then work out where I want it all to go rather than doing it off the card. And we also need some twine, and we need 30 centimeters of this. And all we're going to do with this is just tie a big bow. So let's just I might just do that again and see if I can make that a little bit more in the middle. Okay. Yep, that's my bow. That will do. I'm just going to trim that down a little bit. Okay, pop a glue dot onto the back of that, or I'm going to pop a glue dot in the middle here. And then take the backing off that. There are plenty of glue dots, so that's fairly loose on there, so I probably would suggest maybe popping a couple more on, but we'll just have a look, see what happens. That bow is going to go on there like so, and then we're going to pop some dimensionals on the back here. So let me grab the dimensionals that they gave us. It's quite long, so I'm actually going to pop one at each end and then one in the middle, just so then it doesn't sag there in the middle. Take those backings off. And that is going to go right across there. So that's actually going to help hold all of that into place. Okay, so that's our, let me just move some of these out of the road. So there's our 3 cards, and now the only thing we haven't added onto here, which I am going to add some on, is some sequins. So again, that's forming like that triangle like I was mentioning before. Just move some of this all out of the road, and let's grab our envelopes. So we need 1 envelope and 2 of that one. Now we can't let these envelopes go naked, so let's just do a little bit of stamping on these envelopes. So this one here, which is the envelope to go with this one. Let's just stamp that onto there. Going to keep these all fairly simple. So there's our envelope for that one there. And let me just clean this block. Grab another envelope, and I'm going to just make sure that is clean. Stamp that one, and this one here. I'm actually going to pull out, I know the colour wasn't used as far as the inks that we've done today. Let me just clean that stamp off again. And let's pull out maybe the polished pink. Let me just stamp that off and yeah, I think that might do. So there's the 3 cards and matching envelopes. So with this kit you get to make 2 of each one, I think 3 of each one, so you'll get everything that you need to make these cards. You've got 3 designs and 3 in each one, so that's 9 cards that we're going to end up making from this kit. And as I said, you could probably play around with it and add a few bits and pieces. You could add a little bit more adhesive underneath some of these just to sort of make sure that they stay down, though that's with that on top, that does help. You could add some little bit of your gold if you wanted to from your ephemera pack, or even cut out die cut some more leaves or whatever from the dies that go with this set, because you've also got the, here's my dies here, but you've got this beautiful big leaf. If you wanted to add a few more gold leaves or something, you could very easily cut that out in a colour or in gold, and then cut the leaves up and add a few underneath here as well, just to, because to me this just needs something else underneath it, just to lift that one a little bit more. But otherwise, quite a fun kit to do. Very, very simple. As I said, all the instructions are all there. Everything is there as far as your little mini ink pads or your adhesives, bit of sequins, and your stamps, and you're ready to go. So let me just flip my camera over again. Won't be one moment. I hope you've enjoyed that. I hope you've all got to see. I hope that was all clear, because last week my camera kept flipping, so I didn't notice it until I actually went to put it onto YouTube and saw that my camera was facing more towards the back than towards the front. So I hope you've enjoyed that today. It's just something a little bit different. The kits are all online at the moment, so you can just go to my Stamping Up website, which is michelledutrissa.stampingup.net, and look up for kits, and you'll find the kits there. If you're interested in this kit, jump in, order it soon, because it is only while stocks last. And there's also another kit there at the moment which has come out with the Christmas catalogue as well. Let me just see if I can find... Whoops, let me just pull this out for you. So this is our mini catalogue, and the other kit that's become available this week is this one here. So that's the, we got a name for it? No, I haven't got a name on here for you, but yeah, it's quite a, I actually quite like it. It's quite a fun little kit. So oh, you can't see it because I've got the camera facing the wrong way. That's this one here. Okay, so that one there is now available online as well. So if you go on to michelledutrissa.stampingup.net, you will also find that there amongst the kits. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed today. I hope that you will join me next week, and we can make some more cards. So I will go through in a moment and check all the comments and everything. Thank you very much for joining us, and I'll catch up with you later. So take care, have a lovely day, and enjoy your weekend. Okay, see ya. Bye, Renee. Bye, Bryony.